everyone, welcome back to Alka Space. Today I'm going to discuss about depression especially in adolescents and teenagers. We all know that adolescence is the period of managing emotions because this is the period when we are struggling with hormonal changes, all the physical changes that occur inside our body. And emotional disorders are most common during this period. Emotional disorders like social phobia, anxiety, mood disorders, and this is the time when there is a change in appetite, loss of sleep, that is insomnia. And this is the time when usually the child says, I'm depressed, I'm feeling low. And mostly parents ignore this, but in actual sense this is the matter of big concern. It must not be ignored. If the feeling of sadness, irritability, low mood disorders that persists for longer, then a professional help must be sought. This is actually the thing that needs to be looked after very seriously. It must not be ignored in any case. How it is like to be in depression, it is very hard to say. It is a task to put this in words. However, some of the symptoms which you may notice are, for most of the day the mood is off. A child cannot decide on very small things. There is a loss of sleep, insomnia, there is a loss in appetite, or the child may start eating more. It can happen both the ways. There is a kind of withdrawal from society. Child feels like being isolated all the time. There is a least interest in social gatherings, in friends, in parties, in anything that entertains you. Behavior is very unpredictable. A child sleeps too much. Yes, this may also happen. There can be a loss of sleep. There can be increase in sleep. Energy levels are low. A child cannot concentrate much. A child feels like fatigued for whole of the day. There is a feeling of hopelessness. There is a lack of motivation. There is a lack of interest in pleasurable activities. Again, weight loss is a big symptom of depression. A child keeps on crying without any reason. Aggression, recurrent thoughts of death and suicide, always feeling like hurting himself or herself. So these are very common symptoms. Yes, including the physical disorders like constant headache, stomach ache. These are the things which usually child complains when he or she is in depression. All these symptoms are very common. There are chances that your child is not in depression, but you must not ignore these symptoms if you see these in your children. And these may accompany substance abuse, that is consumption of drugs, alcohol, tobacco. And this is the very important thing, and this very thing should not be taken lightly because the body gets dependent upon chemicals when we are in depression. Some of the children, some people, some adults too, they start taking pills like sleeping pills, anxiety pills, and all these make our body a slave of these chemicals. We cannot simply survive without these chemicals, and this is a big sign of depression. But this can be stopped if we catch all these early, if we notice the symptoms early, if we start taking care of our child very early. Social pressure, environmental factors, and sometimes genetic factors also cause substance abuse among students, among children, among adults, anyone. And there is a strong desire to use alcohol or tobacco, and ultimately interferes with our bodily functions. And these problems need to be addressed at an early stage, because if these if parents show negligence towards the symptoms, the early symptoms of depression, then this stage is very difficult to handle. And I'll again say, professional help must be sought if needed, if you think that you cannot handle your child, if you think that these symptoms persist for longer, say more than 15 days, I would say. Now, what causes depression? Let us dive into the reasons of depression among adolescents, among teenagers. At this stage, children usually thrive for acceptance, for popularity, and if things do not go as expected, if we don't get the things that we actually expected from our friends, our society, our parents, then this leads to a feeling of rejection, and here negative reaction starts, and this negative reaction gives negative results. For instance, peer rejection, social phobia, all these things are a result of when we are not getting what we actually expect. And these negative behaviors are the basic reason of depression among adolescents. Like, first is peer rejection, when a child is rejected by his classmates, by his friend circle, by any relative, all the peers, all the children of his or her age. Second is low grades. When a child gets low grades in exam, his self-esteem goes to the lower side, and automatically there is a feeling of hopelessness. And third is bullying. Online or offline, it can occur at house by adults, it can occur in school by seniors or by classmates or by somebody else, it can occur online too. There are very common examples of online bullying. It is so very persistent in online world these days that children get into depression, and that is the major cause of depression among teenagers, that is online bullying. And fourth is when a child gets insulted by teachers, humiliated by teachers in front of class, in front of friends. Teachers too, sometimes they don't think before speaking, before scolding a child. When a child gets humiliated in front of a class, obviously he feels like he is worthless. And fifth is humiliation by parents. Some parents too don't think while speaking in front of relatives. They usually humiliate their children. These all factors, these all things put your child into depression, and this is the major emotional disorders. We disturb the emotional balance of our kids by doing this. And another reason is sexual orientation, when a child is involved in some kinds of sexual activities, and this can happen both ways. Firstly, when a child wants to get involved into those activities and he does not get, actually something stops him or her, or he actually gets involved in those activities and he now finds out he now is not able to handle all this. The age is not appropriate for all this, and it is very common that children get into all these kinds of activities and ultimately they want to come out, but there is no way. They find that there is no way because they can't share all this with their parents, with teachers. They usually feel insulted. This is the main reason. Actually, sometimes we always overlook this reason, but yes, this is one of the major reasons. And lastly, there is common thing, that is infatuation, liking, interest towards opposite gender, and the person, the adult, the teenager, the adolescent, the girl or a boy does not get that feeling, that that infatuation, that liking, that attraction in return. This is the major factor. So depression is basically a combination of physiological, psychological and emotional and social factors. And depression is not a thing, it is not just an emotion, it is a big thing that comes and does not go very easily. It never comes easily, and the same way it never goes easily. It comes slowly at very low pace, and it goes slowly at very low pace. So what, as parents, as teachers, we can do with this kind of problems, what we can do to handle depression among adolescents, among teenagers. So let's begin with what can be done. The first thing that teachers and parents need to understand is that depression is a sign of very poor mental health. It comes slowly and it gets better slowly. There is nothing like a magic wand that can come and cure the depression in your child. We need to be very patient, and professional help must be sought. There should be some kind of professional monitoring when you are dealing with depression in your teenage child, in your adolescence, because yes, we can handle it by changing the way we communicate with our kids. We can handle it by changing the way we behave, but there is a need of professional monitoring. Please note that. But at your own end, what you can do is, number one, keep in touch with your child. Casually keep on asking, how are you and how are you feeling? Your child may get irritated by all this, and this is where you need to have patience. Slowly, when your child opens up with you, please have patience. Give him an ear to listen. What your child needs: an ear to listen and a shoulder to cry. This is where you play a biggest role. Your role is the biggest when you listen with patience, and when you listen, when you receive all what child is telling you, keep calm. Do not react instantly. I already mentioned in one of my previous videos that while handling teenagers, please keep calm. There is no need to react always. And moreover, when you are dealing with a child who is already suffering from depression, you need to have more patience. You need to be calmer than usual. Set an example of being calm. Keep on monitoring your child's health, your behavior, his or her behavior levels, his or her emotional levels, how your child is thinking, how your child is reacting. Do not focus on perfection and higher productivity. Please remember, at this stage, emotional, mental and physical well-being is more important than being perfect, than being highly productive. Encourage and practice optimism within you and your child. Please set an example of being optimistic, because if you will talk negative, that will directly influence how your child thinks. Please do not let your child realize that he is flawed, he is bad, or he is weak. Please do not show sympathetic attitude towards your child, and do not let anyone else show that kind of attitude, that kind of behavior in front of your child. It is your duty as a parent or as a teacher to protect your child from these societal pressures. Yes, this is a kind of pressure. When somebody shows a sympathetic attitude, this also leads to negative behavior, this also leads to negative emotions. Encourage your child to share his or her worries with you. You may not fix the problems. Yes, you may not fix the problems. You may need the professional help to fix the problems, but you can always be a good listener, and this is what your child wants from you. Get your child involved in some kinds of activity that keeps her busy. Keeping one's busy is very important, because this has two double benefit. One is it will keep your child busy. All the negative thoughts, all the negative emotions will stay away for some times. And when a child is physically active, automatically the hormones, the happy hormones, if there are changes in hormones, there are good hormones also. There are hormones which control our happiness. Dopamine level increases when we get involved in some kind of physical activity. It is a kind of relaxation for ourselves. So without focusing on the problem, without telling your child that this is one of the part of your treatment, please be very normal and encourage your child to participate in some kind of physical activities, so that he or she keeps herself busy and helps her body release happy hormones inside her, and do not look for answers always. Yeah, when you are asking your child something, do not look for the answers. He or she may not answer you every question you ask. Please don't be judgmental always. And support unconditionally. Support your child in an unconditional way. If possible, try to cut down your child's social media usage. Just think, when your child is going through social media accounts of her or his friends peer group, we all are in habit of showing our best self in front of camera, when we are going to post something on social media. We never post something normal, we always post something extraordinary, we always post our best photographs. So when your child goes through best photographs of his or her friends, he may feel saddened, he may feel bad on herself, like he is not worth all this, he is not able to post all this. So this only worsens the situation. Try to cut down social media usage of your child if possible, and it is possible. Encourage your child to eat healthy, to adopt healthy eating habits, to sleep more. When your child is watching TV all the night, he or she wakes up all the nights, there is a difficulty in getting up in time in the morning. So help your child fix a routine, help your child make a routine for himself. And you can only help your child in making a routine by involving yourself. When you say when you make a routine for yourself, it is like you are giving an order, and your order may or may not be followed. It is better to get yourself involved. Okay, come, let's make a plan. Let's plan for the next day. So make your plan, make your child's plan. Let me be very frank. We always say that our children do not follow a routine. Our children do not, do the things which we want to. Where is your routine, Mama? Where is your routine, Dad? Do you plan your day effectively? If you plan, do you execute that plan? Then what right do you have to lecture your child? If you are not planning, you are not making a routine for yourself, then how can you teach your child to be be in routine every day? So it may sound a bit rude to parents and to teachers too, but this is the truth. If you are not involving yourself with what child is doing, that your child may or may not listen to you. He may not listen to your lectures, and there are more chances of negative behavior from your child if you just keep on lecturing and not doing. You are not practicing what you are preaching. Just remember, we all go through ups and downs in our lives. Nobody is perfect, and overcoming from poor mental health and depression may take a bit longer. Help your child to avoid the situations that trigger emotional imbalance. Look for the warning signs before it gets worse, before the situation worsens, and do not blame anyone for the situations. Look at yourself. If you are able to cope up with your problems, if you are able to handle your problems yourself with ease, with keeping yourself calm, then you are able to meet your needs, then definitely you will help your child to meet his or her needs with ease and smoothness. And again, finally, I am saying depression is not something that is to be ignored, that is to be taken lightly. Please take professional help. Professional help may be taken from a counselor, a school counselor, a psychiatrist, a clinical psychologist, anybody, depending upon the situation, depending upon the level of depression of your child. So guys, if you have liked the video, please give a thumbs up and subscribe to Alka Space, and keep visiting my channel for more and more informative videos on parenting and teaching. Thank you and have a nice day.